Right, people, I'm back again. Right, bodybuilding and wrestling talk, yes? Right. How many of you remember the great wrestler and strongman Alan Denison? I worked a lot with Alan, and to be fair, for his age then, I mean, he didn't actually like you mentioning his age, because I did one bout with him, and I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to the man, but I did comment by saying, as we were wrestling, you're an has-been, Denison, you're old, you're finished, blah blah blah, which he didn't take kindly, and I didn't mean it in any disrespectful way. But when the match was finished and we came out the ring, he came over to me and says, Johnny, say anything you like to me in there, say anything you like, but don't call me old. And now, I've got to be honest, I'm old myself now, so I do sort of understand where he was coming from. But that was just one of those things that, I mean, I think at the time I was 28, and Alan must have been over 50 then. As you know, he died from an heart attack. And the reason for that was because he, I mean, I don't think you can get snuff now, can you? Can't get snuff like you used to. And every time you'd walk into the dressing room and Alan was there, whether you were on with him or not, he would always say, Johnny, come over, and he'd get his snuff box out and he'd sprinkle some on me. Get that down, you kiddo. And I used to do it, but all it did to me was make me sneeze for about 20 minutes. But that was the way he was. But as I don't know whether a lot of you know, but that's what actually killed him. And when they did the post-mortem on him, they found that the arteries, the main arteries around his heart, were clogged with this nicotine. Because it's pure tobacco you sniff into your body, and it clogged his arteries, and that's what killed him. But I think he was over 60 at the time when he died, so, and he'd been very active, so obviously the part of being a pro wrestler, which keeps you fit, aerobically fit anyway, kept him going. But the thing what we used to do with Alan was I used to do a arm wrestling match. So we'd have a bout with him, but we'd always start with an arm wrestling match. And we get a table in the ring, and a table and chairs. He'd sit there and I'd sit at the other end, and then we'd start with the arm wrestling. So we'd start off with the arm wrestling, and then the first time we did it, he'd take me over and he'd go over and over, and he'd get me, and the crowd would go up in the air. Let me cough there. Anyway, so second one, so it was a best of 3. So the second one, we'd start off, take the grip, and as we started, and the ref was on this side, as we went over, I'd grab the chair underneath and I'd pull back like that, and the crowd used to lift, and then they'd say, ref, 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 and then the ref would come round, move round to this way, and I'd loose, and I'd say, what, and then I'd go back again, and the ref would come back round, and I'd grab the chair again, and then shouting and shouting, but the ref stopped where he was, and then I was hanging onto the chair, and then Alan went, what? And I went, and the chair went, and the fucking lot went over onto the bed, and I went, Rrr! Fucking ripped the roof off. So that was the way it was, and I used to love doing that silly little arm wrestling thing with him, but it worked like you wouldn't believe. We actually took the roof off, and I think every match I ever did with Alan, more or less, started with this arm wrestling thing we did first. Anyway, Les Kennett. You've all probably heard of Les Kennett. He was a hell of a showman, hell of a comedian, and I only ever worked with him once. And I'm very glad to say I only worked with him once, because you all used to see him when he used to do that drunken swing round thing he was doing, and then as he'd come round, then he'd go whack across the chest. He must have done that to me about 5 or 6 times. And I'm going to be honest, I had the imprint of his hand on my chest for a week after, because he used to really whack him in. And apparently he was a very hard man, was Les Kennett. I know he did all that silly stuff like, but he was pretty handy as well. Sort of a shooter. Now, I don't know whether any of you know what a shooter is in pro wrestling. A shooter is actually somebody that can do it for real. Now, I mean real, right? Marty Jones, who trained me and Patton, he was an Andy wrestler. I remember when we first started with him, he just kneeled on the ring on all fours, and I got him first, and the idea was to get hold of him and turn him over from that position. Couldn't budge him, because he was obviously a good amateur wrestler. Patton had the same result, but you know, we learnt a lot from that. Now, I always remember this, Marty Jones, I was at the show somewhere, wrestling match, and Marty Jones come into the dressing room, and he says, "Johnny, come here, come and watch this." And I went, he says, "Wait, come out here, watch this." It was Alan Kilby, and he was on with a French guy called Professor Adiwaza. Now, Kilby was around 15.5 stone. Kilby was a black belt karate guy. He did really do that. He was really good at it. But Alan was a great guy. He never did me any damage. He always got on with me and respected me. And I think it was because he had a good physique. Well, not a good physique, Alan Kilby, but he was a well-built weight training wrestler. And he never sort of disrespected me. But he used to have this where if he was on with somebody who he thought was not quite looking, well, let's just say looking the part, he'd take the piss. He would sort of take liberties with different people. So I've got out this Professor Adiwaza, never forget him. He wore a red and black full bodysuit right the way down, bit like the gay one. Al Vipon used to wear a gold suit. I'm actually thinking about that. Dynamite Kid used to hate him. Dynamite Kid used to climb him, pick him up and dart him about 6 rows back over the top rope. How he never killed him, I don't know. But anyway, so we're back to this Professor Adiwaza. And I said, what, you know, oh, Marty, I says, well, I looked at him. I said, what you brought me out here for? I didn't say that, but I was thinking it. And he says, what's this guy? This guy's a shooter. I says, who him? He says, yeah, this guy is a shooter. Kilby was over 15 stone. This Professor Adiwazi in his red suit must have weighed all of 10.5 stone. 147 pounds. That's all he was compared to Kilby. So anyway, round one, ding ding, the bell went, came out. Now, you got to remember, this guy actually came to wrestle, professional wrestling, with the guy he was on with. So, straight away, Kilby took liberties. Took him, he threw him all over the place first round. He absolutely chucked him everywhere. And I turned to Marty Jones on him, I remember this, and I said, I thought you says this guy, he says, I thought you says this, and he cut me short. He says, wait. End of round one. Round two started. I came out to link up, as you do. And as I came together, this Professor Adiwazi, little finger went, dink, straight in Alan's eye. I don't know if you've ever been poked in the eye, but both your eyes start streaming. I tell you what, he absolutely screwed Alan Kilby. Kilby was trying to get out of the ring and he was dragging him back in, and the stuff he'd done to him. He'd obviously got in there to wrestle professionally. Kilby made the mistake of thinking this guy was easy, and he paid the price. He definitely did. And it opened my eyes, and you know, I then realised no matter how big you are, how muscled you are, it means nothing. Knowledge, fighting knowledge, is worth far more than all the muscle in the world. Obviously, you get a good big un that knows what he's doing, you've got problems. But that was the story of that, and that was just another way of, you know, explaining what I was on about. Another guy who was a good wrestler, got a great physique as well. There's a guy called the Gladiator. Now, I actually saw him do this in the dressing room. You know, a dining room chair with the eye back, and you have like 4 round a table. He put this chair in the room, stood behind it, about that far behind the chair, stood, and standing leap right over the back of the chair to the floor, and then without stopping, backwards jump back over the chair to the floor. Incredible feat. I tell you what, he was so fit, and he was apparently a good shooter. And I saw him, I forget, there was a referee, a new referee came into the job. I can't remember his name now. But he really fancied himself as this ref, but he took it too far. Instead of like working with the guys, he was like trying to be in charge, a referee, you break, you do this, like in a boxing match. So anyway, I was watching this match and the ring gladiator sort of kept pushing him out of the way, moving him out of the way. And this ref wouldn't have it. He kept going on, you know. And in the end, the ref lost his temper. And I don't forget it, the wrestler stood out of the way. And he was running at the ring gladiator. And as he went past, he just slapping him. He never even put a hand on him. And he just dodged him, flicked him. And everybody was in hysterics in the hall. But it just showed you how good this guy was. You know, so another good shooter, Kennett Nagasaki, believe it or not. He was handy guy. And I saw him in Wolverhampton, I think it was, Wolverhampton Civic Hall, where this guy had a go at him when he leaped out the ring, grabbed him by his foot, dragged him halfway up the aisle. But he didn't actually pile into him, like. But yeah, there's been some good shooters. But well, again, Ringo Rigby. He was a black belt judo player, and he was also very good at Russian Sambo. I forgot what it was last time. Called Russian Sambo wrestling. Excellent. But Ringo actually he started a nightclub. He just bought this new nightclub. He was still wrestling. He just bought this new nightclub. I forget, it was somewhere in Worcester, I think, or somewhere down south. And we all went down. Me, Patton, Chris Adams, Jackie Turpin went down. The night he opened this club. And it was a lovely place. And everybody was, you know, enjoying themselves. And it was going great. And then, because we got to drive back from Worcester, we all had a drink, and then we started back. I used to drink cider then, I think, but not a great deal. But I used to have a half a cider. Patton loved it, because Patton, as I said, always liked his beer. But anyway, so we're on our way back, and next day we were told that after we left, there was a motorbike gang came into the club, about 9 of them, all on big super duper motorbikes. Come in with a big attitude, like, and they kicked off in his club. So, unfortunately, Ringo has quite a temper on him. And what happened was, I remember this was at the court case, apparently they found bodies for 2 miles from the club, where he'd got a baseball bat, sorted them out, and he followed them one by one for 2 miles. The trial, when it went to court, they came in wheelchairs, broken legs, broken arms, broken shoulders. All 9 of them come piling in on the wheelchairs. Ringo got 6 years for that, which I think is a disgrace. That somebody come into your place like that and you can't even bloody... That's the British law, isn't it? This is what happens, unfortunately. They don't look at it that way. As far as I could see... Anyway... Really pissed me off, that did. 6 years he got, and I thought the world of that guy. And that's life, unfortunately. Anyway, that's just a brief look into shooters, we call in pro wrestling. There's a lot more, but that's the way it is. And I shall see you again soon. Thank you all.